welcome to 5 Round MMA episode number 25. Today we have an action-packed episode as we interview up-and-coming fighter Jean the Dreamcatcher, and we also break down the matchups of UFC on FX8, Belfort versus Rockhold. Please welcome Alex Ramirez and Albert Cita.
Thank you very much. I appreciate Gamble Cita for the awesome introduction. Albert, how's it going, man?
It's going good. Had an awesome weekend.
Oh, was that a little wink to the camera? Was that?
That was to Ollie the Trolley. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I guess we'll get to that a little bit later on. Talk about your awesome weekend. As for right now, we got latest news and headlines. What do you got, Guillermo?
So Eddie Alvarez actually publishes alleged altered Bellator documents.
Like legal documents or what?
Yeah, well, the contract.
Oh, okay.
According to the story is Bellator sent a contract over to Eddie Alvarez's manager and sent a different contract to Eddie Alvarez personally, hoping that Eddie Alvarez signs one of them. So he published this out for everybody to see.
Oh, wow. Either way, I bet you it had a buttload of money in it because we saw the UFC contract. And
is this more Bjorn or Bjorn Ribney, or is this more Viacom, you think?
It's Viacom.
It's Viacom. It's
I read in a recent article that Bjorn actually only does like 20% of the actual work, and Viacom's heads up, do the rest.
50% just putting on his suit and showing up, right?
Yeah, 10% of it was just putting the suit on.
What do you got next?
So next we have GSP. You know, what motivates him? He's actually driven by being afraid to fail.
Let me write this down because that's a good one.
Afraid
to fail.
To fail.
The funny part is, that's pretty good.
Was he just not afraid to get hit in the face because of the way he fights sometimes? I'm a GSP fan though, but still, come on.
The French Canadian comes out of him every now and then.
And the last breaking news: Dos Santos says it's over for Mark Hunt.
Hasn't even started yet. What are you talking about?
His run is going to end at Dos Santos.
I think he meant to say my run is about to end when I face Mark Hunt.
Well, according to this, Cain Velasquez also said that Junior Dos Santos is going to destroy Mark Hunt.
So he's like a more motivated JDS kind of, and like just Mark Hunt just happens to the guys in his way.
See, what JDS doesn't know is, he's probably going to be the better fighter that day, but
the more polished fighter.
Yeah, more polished. I'm pretty sure he's going to get more hits off, but Mark Hunt can take him, and all he needs to do is just wind up once and let it go.
Well, I've never seen Junior Dos Santos be knocked out.
Well, don't miss it.
If King Velasquez couldn't do it, come on.
Happen.
Well, was that kid's game plan though, to knock him out, or just to beat him up for 5 rounds?
I don't know, but he could have knocked him out any moment.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna mess around with this guy for 5 rounds. But anyways, that's it.
Yeah, that's it for the latest news today.
All right, so stick around, guys. We have a great interview with Jean the Dreamcatcher Bellefleur. Stick around, guys. All right, everybody, don't miss a beat. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at 5RoundMMA, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always check out the website, 5RoundMMA.com. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by SportsScene.tv.net. Get your prep sports fix at SportsScene.tv.net. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com.
In this corner, we have Jean the Dreamcatcher.
Hey, Jean, Alex Ramirez, I want to thank you real quick for taking the time to talk to us, man.
I'm doing good.
Cool. Good. Thank you, man. Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about your athletic background and how you got into MMA?
Basically, I was breezed into MMA. I did Kung Fu and wrestling when I was a kid, all the way up till when I was a black belt. And, I just kept doing it with jiu-jitsu and judo and Muay Thai and kickboxing, and just kept doing it until, I'm where I am today.
Okay, and if you could describe your fighting style, how would you describe it?
I guess in 2 words, intellectually aggressive.
That's good. Yeah. So you recently made your pro debut with the CFA, the Championship Fighting Alliance out of Florida. Can you just take it through that night, and were there any pro debut jitters, or was it kind of almost like another day at the office for you?
I fought a lot more than it was recommended as an amateur, so I don't know. I was surprisingly not nervous. I was not nervous at all. I took fights without a lot less notice, a lot less training, and I just felt like I was in the groove thing. It was a great training camp. It was a real long training camp as well, and I felt like I went out and executed, the smart game plan. Then got the win. I felt like there were some things I just didn't, I don't know. I guess when I was an amateur, I was so used to fighting so often, I just felt comfortable.
Okay.
And I could just kind of get right in the mix of things as far as swinging punches and, the stand-up, because that's what everyone likes to see. They like to see striking. And, me not training, me not fighting for 4 months, I guess it was kind of like, I guess, started out stale. I was throwing strikes, but they were half-hearted strikes, and it was really more to set up the takedown and the grappling and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was a great fight, and I feel like the performance was strong. It was just a couple key things that, I'm looking at in the film, and I'm definitely going to sharpen up in the next fight.
Oh, sounds
Okay.
good.
And you actually come from a pretty big training camp. Can you let us know about that training camp and how they prepare you for your fights?
Well, the camp that I did with for the CFA camp, I was with Evolution and ATT, and it was kind of awkward because I was fighting a guy from ATT as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I kind of know him. We know each other actually really well, which is awkward because I guess.
You're trying to punch each other's
I
face.
guess some words were exchanged. It was a pretty awkward situation. He pushed me at the weigh-ins, and I was under the impression we were good.
Oh, okay.
It was just, it was. I thought it was just like in a spirit of competition. I fought one of their teammates before, and we were all good. I'm not really, I don't really care. And I guess you take it personal. I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
And
Can we go back to your name, the Dreamcatcher? I think is awesome. Can you just explain us the meaning behind it and what the significance of the Dreamcatcher nickname for you?
well, I mean, the significance of it is it's basically self-destructive. It's a dream catcher. It's like, and I believe like you can get whatever you want in this life, and I think I can get what I want in MMA. So it only suits it perfectly that I'm the dream catcher. It comes kind of like exactly like a dream catcher, so it just sticks.
Okay. And we actually already checked out your website, dreams2catch.com. It's pretty impressive. And I just wanted to know, like, how important do you think it is for fighters not only to fight good, but to almost self-promote themselves?
Well, I mean, as an amateur, I learned that early because I didn't have at first. I guess I was training with the big camp, but I guess I was just, for some reason, I like to just pick my own fights, and I like to get my own fights, and I like to promote myself, and I like to do everything myself, so I know the business. So at some point, maybe I could manage, or maybe, I could self-manage at some point in my career. I don't know, maybe experimenting with that. So I think it's really, really important to market yourself, because then you see your true value. Like, let's say you want to sell a T-shirt, and you have, you want to know how much people will buy it. I mean, if you're promoting yourself so much, you're going to have more followers and more people interested in wanting to see you and your brand and seeing what you're about. So keeping that curiosity, you will develop a fan base, and you're going to generate more income as far as selling T-shirts and getting sponsorship and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think fighters now are kind of starting to do that. Like Tito Ortiz is now a promoter. He's real active and promoting himself now. So I can see your line of thought there. Take care of your own business.
Yeah, this is a fairly new sport, and a lot of people don't realize. A lot of young fighters, they don't realize this is also a business, and they're not thinking about, wow, what's going to happen 5 years from now. I'm just looking to get the head start. I'm thinking about what's going to happen 5 years from now, and what's happening 10 years from now in this sport, and how maybe something that I invest in now, or something that I invest my time in now, how it could pay off in 5 years, 10 years. Because I mean, think about it. That's exactly how Dana White got the UFC, right?
Yeah, sure. You always got to think ahead. One last question before you go. I know you mentioned earlier that you fought so much as an amateur, and like kind of waiting between fights as a pro would be kind of difficult. But when do you anticipate to be back in the cage again?
Probably after summer. I was supposed to fight May 24th on the CFA 11 card, but I had an injury and I was not going to be healed in time.
Okay.
I'm still not going to be healed in time. I'm probably going to be healed the week after, back to training the week after the event. So probably after summer. They haven't released when they're going to do it, but I guess maybe if I had to guess, they did the event May, 2 months.
Okay.
So it'd be right after summer.
Okay, cool, man. We'll wish you speedy recovery, man, and keep us updated on your fights. We'll definitely want to keep an eye out for you, man. Thanks a lot for your time, John.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you for your time. We're actually do our podcast from True Athlete System. It's a strength and conditioning gym. Whenever you're in California, if you ever want to come in here and train, you're more than happy. We'll have you in here, and it'll be great.
Definitely. And if anybody wants to follow me on Twitter, it's Kane100, CANE 100. And same thing for Instagram.
All right, sounds good. I mean, we'll spread the word too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye.
If you're an MMA fanatic, make sure you're wearing the proper MMA gear. The Madhouse clothing line, MMA all day. Go shop themadhouse.com.
To take TRT or not to, that is the question. Now it's time for a preview of UFC on FX8, Belfort versus Rockhold.
And the answer is very simple. Take TRT.
If you guys go online and watch Belfort's training video, he even sends out stuff on Instagram, just him working out like all the time.
Looks like a beast, man. He has muscles on muscle.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold is definitely not being shy about his feelings against TRT. He's calling out Belfort, saying this guy doesn't even look right, doesn't pass the eye test. But I don't know, maybe just more motivation for Belfort. But before we get to the main card of that main event, you have any undercard bouts for this UFC on FX8?
Yeah,
card?
well, of course, we have our last week's guest, Mike Real, fighting against Francisco Trinaldo. Mike Real being 9-1. He's in a 3-fight winning streak. Francisco's 12-2.
Yeah.
But he is coming off of he came off of a win.
He's like 1-1 his last two.
Yeah,
fights.
and it's against Glisson Tebow.
Yeah.
Which Glisson Tebow is no joke, but that's what's coming off. And the other one is actually Nick Lenz, who beat Diego Nunes, and Diego Nunes was supposed to be the guy that was going to take the torch as soon as Jose Aldo moved up in weight class. And, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. And he's going to fight actually a hard opponent. I mean, he's fighting Hernan Diaz, which is 21-1, 9-fight win streak. Those are pretty much the key ones to watch in the undercard. Yeah,
they're still be on Fuel TV, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be on Fuel.
So when the main card's on FX, the undercard's on Fuel, right? And then,
and then the other one, and then there's like 2 fights on Facebook.
So the main card actually took kind of a big hit with Costa Phillip, who cutting his eyebrow, right? And he couldn't fight, so that had to move some stuff around. Now, Chris Camozzi, he got moved up from his opening bout, is now facing Jacare, which I think is kind of a dangerous fight for Camozzi, you think?
Yeah, actually, I was really hoping to see
Costa
Phillip versus Jacare, but there it is. But Jacare 3-fight winning streak, and his last loss was to Luke Rockhold, who is fighting Belfort in this card. But
Jacare's making his UFC debut, right? Or he just fought once already?
No, this is gonna be his UFC debut right here.
So Rockhold
and Chris Camozzi is technically
he just fought, right?
Yeah, and his only losses, his most recent loss is probably to Francis Comol, and he's on a tear right now. He's on a 4-fight winning streak, so it's not like they just picked up some guy.
Oh yeah, no, I think Jacare's a legit contender in the middleweight division. I think. I mean, now that Hector Lombard dropped down, I think he's like the guy to keep your eye on. I think. But you want to talk about the main event now?
Well, there is like, the Evan Dunham, Rafael Dos Anjos.
I mean, the card is in Brazil, so it's a very Brazil heavy.
I mean, Rafael's riding a 3-fight win streak.
But don't you? Whenever I see Rafael Dos Anjos fight, I remember that brutal knockout he had a couple years ago where he got knocked out.
Oh no, yeah,
that's what I know him for.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he was on a winning streak, so Evan Dunham is no joke either. So
yeah, well, Evan Dunham he's coming off of a loss against T.J. Grant.
Yeah, but T.J. Grant's a no more contender. Yeah. Right, so
there you go.
Yeah,
but other than that, pretty much we got Arnold Schwarzenegger at Belfort versus
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Luke Rockhold.
So the biggest controversy around this one now is
TRT.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold said he doesn't believe in it. He says that I guess Belfort is abusing it. I guess there's a prescription. I guess he uses too much TRT or something like that. But
we need to get off the TRT and start looking at their actual experience, because Luke Rockhold, I think, is what he lacks is experience. I mean, the only big names he's ever fought is Tim Kennedy and Jacare, and But Vitor Belfort has fought them all.
And towards the end of Strikeforce, they couldn't even pay Rockhold to get in the cage, right? They've been trying to give him fights, and he'll take it, and he'll just back out.
Probably I think it was 3 fights.
He backed out of.
And he only has a 10-1 record, so experience is gonna be the factor. I don't think it's gonna be a TRT.
You think he got kind of shocked when he was placed against Belfort? Maybe he was hoping for a Costas Philippou.
I think he was hoping for Michael Bisping.
Yeah, something like that. But then you can get Vitor Belfort, who's almost thrives on these I'm gonna ruin your day type of situations now. But you think Rockhold will suffer from UFC jitters, or you think?
No, he looks like a very confident guy.
Yeah.
But what I think he is going to suffer from is Vitor Belfort's left fist.
Or about his left foot, like Michael Bisping.
Or that. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if he hits him with his shoulder and knocks him out with all that muscle.
So you don't have a beef at all with Belfort's TRT use at all? You don't see it as an unfair advantage?
As long as it's not banned, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, you don't remember when Nick Diaz said that guys are being prescribed TRT to help train? He said, then why can't I have some cannabis to help me relax? It's prescribed in California
But I think it's also ridiculous for Vitor and the other guys to say TRT doesn't really give me a step up. I mean, just look at the way you look. Just look the way. I mean, how are you better now than you were when you were 20 years old?
Yeah,
well, TRT is basically testosterone. So I mean, he can't perform.
He's beasting out though.
But he can't perform like he was when he's 20 years old. So that's why he takes TRT to get back
to perform at 20 years old.
But then if he can't perform at 20 years old, shouldn't you just call it quits then?
And that's a couple fighters have said that, like Rich Franklin brought that up, saying the minute I can't train like I used to, and they tell me to take TRT because he says his testosterone is slowly starting to go down.
Yeah.
He says I'm just gonna call it quits. I mean, like
and that's what
I don't.
They should do.
Yeah.
I hate John Bone Jones, but in a recent interview, I think he got it right. He said that it's an unfair advantage for someone to gain all that experience and then gain back their youth at the same time.
That's a good point.
And he even said, and he even said it's not even that sometimes you just gotta to keep recycling the sport. You gotta let the old ones go and bring in the new ones. I mean, if you can't no longer hang by your pure strength that you were born with, and
think about the era Belfort debuted in. Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, Tito, Fedor, both the Shamrocks. They're all gone. Boss Stewart, they're all gone. He's still hanging here. Is it because of TRT, you think?
But even these guys that do take TRT, what do they have to prove? Does Vitor Belfort really has to prove anything? He had a long career. He made his money.
He
got his championships.
Right?
Same thing with Dan Henderson. He captured almost every title there is to capture. He defeated Fedor. Do you really have anything to prove?
No. I mean, so you kind of almost just to kind of change the guard that they refuse to let the spotlight go. You think?
Yeah, and that's why I agree with John Jones. I mean, when your time comes, your time comes.
Yeah, that's true.
You're hurting the sport more than helping it.
Yeah, because this could have been another main event spot for somebody else.
Yeah.
Until it becomes illegal, though. I mean, like, what can you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why you can't really do much. If it's legal, it's legal.
People could cry out as much as they want, but nothing to do about it.
So, you guys ready for your picks?
Yeah, we're gonna do picks.
Yeah.
Of the main card, right?
We have a lightweight bout: Rafael Dos Anjos versus Evan Dunham.
I got Evan Dunham.
I'm gonna go with Rafael Dos Anjos style.
I'm gonna go with Dos Anjos as well.
I'm gonna be anti-Brazilian until we get to the
the next one's gonna be kind of difficult.
and main event.
Middleweight.
I know how.
We have a middleweight bout: Rafael Natal versus João Zafrino. Is that how you say it?
Something like that.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. But I'm gonna go for Rafael because he's 3-1. So
And you can pronounce his name.
I can pronounce his name. I'm even gonna try the other one.
If you can't pronounce his name, he doesn't belong in the UFC, right?
I already scratched him out.
I have Rafael Natal.
Yeah, me too, Rafael Natal.
We have a middleweight co-main event. We have Chris Camozzi versus Ronald Jacare Suaza.
I got the alligator winning.
Me too. I think they're gonna clamp on.
Yeah, the alligator is a scary guy.
I also think watch out for him. I mean, especially if Anderson Silva does leave the middleweight division, that's wide open.
That's one guy to look out.
I think he could really sneak in there. I mean, I think you put him up against anything like Bisping, maybe. It's still.
And before he was nothing but a ground fighter, and he's slowly improving in the stand-up. I mean,
at a faster pace, I think Damon Maia.
Yeah, way faster,
more powerful.
So then we have the main event middleweight bout: Vitor Belfort versus Luke Rockhold.
Well, I kind of want to say age will kind of win here, but it would be really.
The TRT is going to win this one.
Yeah, the TRT is going to win this one. I think it's going to overwhelm.
It's going to be knockout,
Rockhold.
yeah. The one thing I do know about Luke Rockhold, he doesn't like pressure at all.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that Tim Kennedy gave him the most trouble with.
And that's what Belfort thrives on. He pressures guys.
Yeah.
He just swam on you like that, but...
So I got Vitor and Vitor, Alex and Albert.
Yeah, who do you
and I got Vitor Belfort as well.
TRT wins again.
Yeah, so that's it for today.
That's it for today. All right, guys, so make sure to check back next week. We'll have a full review of the UFC on FX8 card. We will also have a preview of the big showdown. I know Guillermo's ready for Bigfoot versus Kane, too.
Oh, come on. That's the most exciting time of the year, whenever Cain Velasquez. If he loses, we drink. If he wins, we drink.
So it's always a win situation.
It's always a win-win.
Yeah.
So make sure to check out for that, guys. And also a big thank you to Jean Bellefleur, the Dreamcatcher, for a great interview. Appreciate that. So make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. And a big shout-out thank you to True Athletes again for this great place. A big shout-out to Madhouse again. Thank you for all the love. And make sure to check out their website, madhouse.com. And always check out our website, FiveRoundMMA.com. Albert, got some final words?
You can actually follow True Athletes at True Athletes TS. I would like to thank producer Guillermo Cita, our executive producer Ruben Lopez and George Carrillo, our sound engineer Ollie the Trolley, our technician.
Big game.
Big game.
Big game who's back
Just got
now.
married, yeah.
Just got married, so congratulations. Thank you everybody for listening.